Right, to update you guys of where we're at with our deportation process right now, we've been in contact with the removals officer, and dealings with CBSA aren't exactly what we thought they were going to be, to say the least. The first two officers we spoke to explained to us how the deportation officer was going to help us with our organization. When he actually called us, he then proceeded to tell us how swamped he is, and then expects us to go and find every role and requirement to us returning. That's fine. We've been working to that. We're trying to comply everywhere we can, but for whatever reason, it appears that CBSA like to try and make complying near impossible. And the reason I say that is the time frame they give you for anything that you have to do with them. So one thing we've had to do is mail our passports off. We were given 14 days to get it done. The officer who required us to send our passports off ensured us that they could mail us prepaid envelopes to mail them back overnight, and we had, by the time that they mailed them out, we would have 13 days to return them. Like I said, these things are supposed to be overnight. 7 days later, we receive the prepaid envelopes, and of course mail service is only open 3 days a week here, so it ended up being an extra day before it was sent back, which means there's no chance of that getting in before the deadline. Right now, so yesterday, no, what day is it today? Sunday today. So on Friday, we had contact with the removals officer, and he's been working with us on a date. It seems that everybody seems to be fairly happy with May the 5th being our date of return. The reason for all that being it being the first proper direct flight out of the country. But right now, we've just spoken to him about that on Friday. On Friday evening, he's told us to get all the flights and everything booked, and he needs us to pay for it on Monday morning. That would be fine if anybody could confirm anything right now, but nobody can confirm anything until 10 days before a flight. So little confirmations like excess baggage, dogs, etc. can't be confirmed until near the flight. And Emma and I aren't happy to pay for a flight not knowing that we can't take what we need to take with us, right? So we're hoping that tomorrow the officer will be gracious and work with us on this. We're hoping that this isn't a means for them to force us into non-compliance, because that's absolutely what it feels like right now. Something I would recommend to anybody dealing with the CBSA is to record your conversations. We were informed multiple times by these officers not to record the conversation for numerous reasons. The main reason they gave us was fear of deportation sooner, as in if I was to be caught recording these conversations, they could detain me and then proceed with the deportation much sooner, right? So obviously I believe this, and I want to comply, so I do not record these calls. I wish I had, because these people will lie to you to get you to agree with what they're saying and get you to comply. The second officer, when questioned on where I get my passport back or when I get my passport back, sloughed me off 5 times and sloughed Emma off on the same question. And then when I proceeded to email afterwards, then told me in the email that she told me in the phone call. That had not been explained. That is an absolute lie. The officer before that assured us that any questions or concerns we had, he would address directly by email. When I emailed him, all the emails I got back were to say, thanks for your email, and I'm going to forward this to the next officer. So obviously he had no interest in helping us whatsoever. He was very, very kind and nice on the phone, and explained how much he was going to help us. And like I said, the third person that we're dealing with right now is so busy at work. He's only in the office 1 day a week that he can't actually help us with our deportation. He's expecting us to do all the paperwork ourselves and go from there. So, pretty interesting situation we've got ourselves into right now. I don't really know what to do about it, but we're trying to jump through as many hoops as we can in order to comply. Tomorrow we will find out exactly what's going on. So that's why I'm making this video tonight, because, like I said, the agreed date so far is May the 5th. So my suspicion is things are going to be made to go a lot faster, purely because we're being forced into non-compliance, and there's seemingly nothing we can do about that right now. But anyway, that's just a quick update on where we are. New Patreon video up tonight for the Patreons. Otherwise, I don't really know what to tell you. You know, things are still continuing here as normal until we hear more. We've been packing all our stuff. The cabin's looking substantially different. Jim's been picking up parts of his truck and whatever. So yeah, we're making progress on leaving. We have lots of things organized, ready to go. We'll talk about exactly what we need to do in another video. There's COVID tests, there's all sorts of things we need to do to comply, and then a mandatory quarantine when we get back. So yeah, it's kind of is what it is right now. I'm just hoping that this whole CBSA thing isn't what I think it is, but when you go online and see how many complaints and accusations have been made against CBSA and their officers because they're not governed by anybody in particular, they're a law unto themselves. I have my suspicion that they tell you not to record these phone calls because if you were to record them, their tactics would be visible, and their tactics are somewhat underhanded in my opinion. And yeah, that's kind of all I got to say on that matter. The fear of recording goes to the point where the second officer I dealt with had to connect the phone call 7 times before she was convinced that I didn't have a recording device attached to the phone, because the phone line out here is bad because we live in a remote area. But that just goes to show you the level of paranoia that's involved with these officers and what they are saying getting out into the public. But yeah, hopefully this video doesn't make any difference to the situation either, but I feel that it needs to get out there, and I feel that it needs to be public before anything else is forced upon us and before anything else is made awkward. I don't have any proof of the phone calls, but I can prove to you that the original agreed date was March the 5th, so we'll see if they've forced us into non-compliance, and we'll go from there. Thanks for coming with us once again. Huge love, and hopefully on the next video we can tell you a bit more and we'll be a bit more certain about exactly when we're leaving and how we're doing that. Thank you.